going to discuss about the AWS. So what is AWS and what is cloud computing and how we are going to get trained on AWS and all the things we are going to get a look into we are going to have a look into that. So before I start the concepts of AWS, I just want to have a brief introduction about yourself, not everyone. So just let us have a small introduction and then we'll go ahead into the concepts. Yes, can you please share about yourself so that I can have a brief understanding about what I have to discuss, who are my target audience. So everything I will have a briefing about that. Yes, go ahead. Hello. I want your involvement into the sessions, guys. Without your involvement, I am unable to go ahead into the concepts. Yes, can you please start? Any a few of you?
Hi, my name is Muthu. Let me start first.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. So I'm Node.js developer. So I have 10+ years of experience. Just I would like to know about more about in the AWS. That's what I have joined here.
Okay, so you are from the developer background. So
Yes.
want to,
yeah.
So okay, we will discuss about this. But before I diving into the remaining concepts or remaining things, what make you to understand this AWS? So what is your expectations towards AWS?
My expectation just I need to learn all AWS like services. So how to connect ECS, how to Lambda, so all those things I should know. So that is a way. That's my expectation actually.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Next one.
Hi, I'm Shivateja. So I'm about to complete my master's. I'm in USA right now. So about to complete my master's in May. So I'm interested in AWS training.
Okay, so you are interested in AWS training, but what
Yeah.
makes you to come attend the training and what are your expectations?
Actually, the cloud part brought me that interest actually because if we go to any backdrop like Java, DevOps, anything, the main thing they're asking is like AWS or any cloud platform they're asking.
Okay.
So that brought me the interest to learn.
Okay, cool. Next,
Yeah.
any other? Any other?
Hi, sir.
Hi.
I am Indraja. Currently, I'm pursuing my BTech final year. I'm from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay. Yeah, go on. So what make you to attend this session? What are your expectations towards the session?
As AWS is a trending technology now, it will be helpful to place in any company.
Okay, cool. So that's what your expectations and that made you come into the into this session. Okay, so let me introduce myself and then we'll go ahead into why AWS is necessary. Not only AWS, why cloud computing? Please try to understand. Here we came to learn one of the cloud technologies, but before that you need to understand what is cloud and why you need to have a basic understanding why cloud, basically why we need to learn cloud. So these are the two questions that you need to have a brief answering so that you will understand when you go into the topics what you are going to learn, everything you will have a clear cut understanding. So now let me go ahead with a thorough briefing about what is cloud and why you want AWS to have a basic understanding towards the AWS cloud, everything. So now, before I diving into the concepts of this cloud and cloud technologies, let me introduce about myself. Okay. So I am Chaitanya. I have an 13+ years of experience in Microsoft products. Especially, I'm a system administrator. Previously, when I used to work, I was a system administrator. I'm purely into system administration background, where I have monitored and managed somewhere around 600 servers, where a few of servers are the web servers and few of servers are the application servers, and disaster recovery, high availability. These are all the things which I have handled. And later on, whenever this pandemic was hit and everyone are choosing towards learning the cloud, so from 2017, 2016 onwards, I was into the cloud environment, where I used to give trainings to my candidates on AWS, and as well as I was working, I was into this AWS, and right now I am a senior DevOps engineer working in a top class MNC company. So if you go through my certification, I am a certified Kubernetes administrator, and I am a certified Microsoft administrator, and I am a certified Cisco administrator, Cisco CCNA, like simply I can call it as a Cisco Certified Network Associate. So if you can go through all the certifications, so whatever the certificate that you mentioned, not major, but yes, I have done all the certifications regarding RHEL or else Terraform. So these are the certification which I possess. So that was introduction about myself. And when you go ahead now, what makes me to give training to you? Because of all the technology knowledge and all the experience which I have, this will be helpful for you to gain the knowledge over the cloud computing. So whatever the cloud technologies that you are about to learn, everything will be in deeply you can learn about these technologies. And before we go into the concepts of cloud and all the things, let me give a brief understanding about the syllabus, what you are going to learn. So the first one is cloud basics. So first and foremost topic will be cloud basics, where you will be get a basic understanding or else brief understanding about what is cloud and why we need to have a cloud environment, whether it is feasible if we have cloud or else if we have on premises, what is the main difference between cloud and on premises. This will make you some what I can say jargons. Maybe on premises is one of the jargon which you are learning right now, which maybe there. So who are the people? The people who are coming from the IT background, they know about the on premises and the cloud environment. But those who doesn't have any sort of experience this on prem, this is a jargon for them. Okay, what is this on premises? Okay, so that we will have a brief understanding about this, and then we will go ahead into the difference between Azure and AWS. What is the main difference between Azure and AWS, and geographical locations? What are the different geographical locations in AWS? What they're called as? Everything we'll learn about this. And what are the different types of clouds that we are having? Okay, types of clouds, or else types of cloud environment. And then we will learn about services, cloud services. We can simply call them as cloud services. Okay, so these are all the things that you are going to get a brief understanding. And later we will discuss about cloud networking, or else simply I will call it as networking, in which you have to understand about IP addressing, and then you need to have a basic understanding about CIDR. So these are the some terms that you need to understand. I don't want to make you frightened by saying initial stages itself, but you need to have a basic understanding about this. So once we have completed these cloud basics, then the next topic will be VPC. We will be diving into AWS, where in cloud basic itself, I will tell you about AWS account creation. Okay, so for creating the AWS account, you need to have any Visa, Master. Nowadays, I think RuPay is also, yeah, I will discuss about this. RuPay is also providing you the AWS account, it seems. Any debit card or credit card will be feasible for creating the AWS account, but it is mandatory to create the AWS account. Why? Because whatever the practicals that we are doing, we will be doing the practicals on your own AWS cloud environment. So you have to create an environment in that you are going to do certain practicals. So that's about on-prem. And when you come back to the AWS, so into the AWS, the first and foremost topic that I'm going to take care is VPC. And then we will be discussing about EC2, and then we will be discussing about S3 buckets, IAM, and then we will have databases. Simply I will call it as RDS and NoSQL. These are the concepts that we will be covering. And then CloudWatch, and cloud formation. In between, we'll discuss about Lambda also. So these are the things that we are going to discuss in the AWS. So this much is the topics. Inside this topics, we will have the subtopics where we are going to cover everything. For VPC itself, we will be taking around some 1 week of time to complete, 1 week to 10 days of time to complete VPC itself. So in VPC, you will have creating the VPC peering, VPC transit gateway, VPC NAT gateway, VPC VPN connection, and then security groups, firewalls. There are a lot of stuff that we are going to learn. And when you come to the EC2, this will be taking again 14 days of time. Why? Because what is EC2, types of EC2, and then you need to understand spot instances, reserved instances, and then AMIs, EBS volumes, and then load balancers. In load balancers, application load balancer, network load balancer, and then Route 53, auto scaling groups, global accelerator, cloud front. There are lots of topics which we are going to cover in EC2. And when you come to S3 buckets, in S3 bucket, creating S3 bucket, storing the objects, permissions, encryption, and then S3 bucket lifecycle, and then we will be going ahead with the S3 bucket permissions. Okay, finally we will discuss about access points in S3 bucket. And when you come to the IAM, in IAM itself, we will be discussing completely about security, creating users, policies, roles. Lot of stuff is there in IAM. And when you come back to the databases, here we will be learning about MySQL creation, and then DynamoDB creation, and then Redis. Lots of things are there, and CloudWatch and Cloud Formation, and finally we will discuss about Lambda. So overall, some 40 sessions it will cover to complete the entire topics. What are the topics that we have discussed? 40 sessions it will take. Okay, maximum 40 to 45 sessions it is going to cover, and duration will be, as I discussed, 2 months, and timings will be 7 to 8 p.m. every day. So from Monday to Friday you will have the sessions. Monday to Friday sessions will be there. So every day 7 to 8 p.m. you will have the sessions. Almost 40 sessions we are going to cover. So this is about your entire concepts of syllabus which we are going to take care of. And yes, when you come to the Lambda, here in Lambda for developers, it might be helpful. And there is a concept called as EBS, Elastic Beanstalk, which we are going to cover. So that there are a lot of things that will be helpful for the developers also. So basically, we are going to discuss about the infrastructure part, and as well as in between that, we are going to introduce you about the software development, and then whatever the JavaScript, whoever are working with the Java, we will be trying to create some Java applications. So it will be very helpful for you when you go through all the concepts of AWS. So I hope you are very clear about this syllabus. And the next one is, what are the prerequisites to learn AWS? Is there any prerequisite to learn AWS? Any one operating system, you need to have a basic understanding. Basically, we will discuss about Linux. If you have a minimum knowledge on Windows also, that will be helpful. So you need to have the basic understanding about the Linux or else Windows. That would be feasible for you. And then one laptop with minimum 4 GB of RAM, 4 GB RAM, and somewhere around 100 or else 10 Mbps of speed of internet. That's more than enough. High connectivity, high bandwidth internet, or else I will simply make it as internet connection. That's more than enough. So these are the prerequisites which you have to learn AWS. Okay. So these are the things that you need to go ahead. And what is the path to learn AWS? So I hope you are very clear with this. Any questions here? Am I making sense for you? Do you have any questions to ask? Okay. Anyone, any questions to ask? Do you understand what I am saying? First of all,
Yeah. database perspective, which database you are going to cover? DynamoDB or something like that?
It is DBA, database administration. That too only one class it will be there. It is not like DBMS. Okay, I'm not going to create the MySQL simply in single word. It is MySQL. Creating MySQL and showing you the high availability of MySQL. Okay, so that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any further questions? Fine. Yeah, Surya, you are about to ask something.
Yeah, in the online syllabus, I see that design and deploy virtual private cloud.
That is
what is the meaning of deploy there?
Deploy is creating. Design
Okay.
means understanding the infrastructure, and deploying means creating. I don't know where you have seen this. Let me check this.
Yeah, on DURGASOFT website.
Hold on.
But there is one more website like DURGASOFT online, I think.
I know, but let me check out this clearly.
Yeah, here on.
You're asking about this, huh?
Yes, correct.
Design and deploy means creating the VPC. How we are going to create the VPC, and what are the different what I can say resources that you have to create when you want to create a VPC. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That is just a small thing. Yeah. Any another? So these are all the things that we are going to cover. VPN, transit gateway, EC2, load balancers, auto scaling group, systems manager, S3 buckets, databases, CloudWatch, IAM, AWS migration. Don't consider this as a definite one, but why? Because I don't have the hardware to let you know about this. But anyways, I will try to make you understand about this. I am not very sure about this, but let me check out from my end. So keep this as a star mark. Remaining everything we will cover. Okay. Whatever there in the syllabus, we will cover everything. Am I making sense for this? Hello. Fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So now when I coming back to the next one, what are the how you have to learn cloud technologies? What are the cloud technologies and how you have to learn cloud? So any cloud technology, either it might be AWS or else it might be Azure or else it might be GCP. So any cloud technology, first and foremost, you need to have a basic understanding about Linux. It is very, 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 very important to have the understanding about the Linux. Without having the Linux knowledge, I won't say it is impossible, but it is a little bit tricky to cover the entire AWS. So please learn Linux. If you have the basic understanding about Linux, that's more than enough. Not very in deep into the Linux concepts. Not, we don't want SC Linux. We don't want what I can say uh, zipping tars and all the things. We don't want that. Basic user creation, creating a directory, moving the files into one directory to the another directory. If you have the basic understanding, basic permissions, if you have a basic knowledge on the permissions of Linux, that's more than enough. So you need to learn Linux, and then either you can learn AWS or Azure. Here I am not going to tell you that you need to learn only AWS or else learn only Azure. It's your choice. Either you can have Azure or AWS. But my choice will be AWS. Why? Because the terminology will be easy, and the look and feel whenever the user is trying to access any console, the console access will be very easy for you. So my first and foremost suggestion will be AWS. So try to learn AWS. Okay, so after that it's totally your wish. Either you can go with AWS or Azure, and later we will go with DevOps. Okay, so that's mandatory. Without cloud knowledge, you cannot jump into the DevOps. Why? Because DevOps is purely based on the cloud. Not all the tools which are there in the DevOps, and DevOps is not a single entity. It's not a single subject. Okay, DevOps is a methodology, not a subject. So if you take AWS, you will be learning only about AWS. If you go to Azure, you will be learning only about Azure. Or else if you go for Linux, you will be learning only about RHL Linux or else Ubuntu Linux. You will be learning a single technologies. But DevOps is a combination of multiple technologies where you have to learn about Git, you have to learn about Terraform, you have to learn about Ansible, Jenkins, and then Docker, Kubernetes, Maven, SonarQube, and Prometheus, Grafana, Negios, and then Bamboo. Like that, there are so many tools which you are using. Bitbucket is one of the version control tool like that. So DevOps is not a single entity; it's a combination of multiple entities, multiple subjects. So my suggestion is that some concept doesn't require the cloud knowledge. For example, if you take Jenkins can be implemented on premises and as well as in the cloud. So it is not a mandatory thing to learn Jenkins to learn cloud for learning Jenkins. But a few concepts are there for Terraform. I cannot show you on the on premises. I need to go ahead with the cloud environment. And then if I go for Docker and Kubernetes you can run on premises, but cloud will be more effective. So like that, there are a few tools which you use in the DevOps. So you have to have basic understanding about AWS or Azure first, and then you can go for the DevOps. And in DevOps, and in DevOps, when you go to the DevOps, the outside world will be frighten you about this. They will make fear out of you. Okay, they will make fear, and then they will make cash. They will make money. Some people will say that Azure DevOps we will provide training on Azure DevOps, and a few people will say that we will provide training on AWS DevOps. Okay, so if you see here, there are no such so many types of DevOps are there. There is only one DevOps. So, and if you learn AWS, inside AWS you are having code build. There is a concept called as code pipeline, code build. Like that, you are having certain concepts. So those are all comes under the AWS DevOps. If I go here, there is a service called as code commit. So it's a Git repository, store code in private Git repository. In AWS, code commit is one of the developer tool. Okay. And then code pipeline. Code pipeline is one of the CI/CD pipelining tool. Okay, where you are going to do build and generate all the things. And when you go for AWS sign up, which will be integrating the code for you, like that you are having what I can say, so a few technologies that are having in the AWS. So code commit is like a Git, and artifacts are nothing but your what I can say like a Maven, how you are going to build it and store the artifact. And code build is also the same. And then you can go with that deployment and then going to the pipeline. So this pipeline is nothing but similar to the Jenkins. So in AWS, you are having, these are the developer tools which will be helpful for you to understand the AWS DevOps. But when you go to the Azure, in Azure also you are having somewhere like dev.azure.com. So it is a part of Azure DevOps. If you see here, it is a part of Azure DevOps. So let me sign into this. I think I forgot this, not even. Just hold on a second. I just need to get a confirmation. Let me check in the another portal. dev.azure.com. So in Azure also you will have the same thing, same scenario we will have. Here also I don't have a, hold on. Let me refresh this once. Okay. So like that, you will be having another DevOps, Azure DevOps, they will call it as Azure DevOps. The same thing will be there. You will have the code commit or else code repository, and then you will have the code pipeline. So you will be using that. So the basic criteria is Azure. When you work with Azure, and inside Azure you are having these tools, you will be using these tools, then that is called as Azure DevOps. And when you come to the AWS and whatever the AWS tools that you are using, like code commit, code pipeline, then that is called as AWS DevOps. But in general, in DevOps, so if you go for code commit, which is there in AWS, it is similar to Git. Okay, so one of the technology you understand here. But how we can do Terraform? Terraform, there is no alternative. I can go with cloud formation. So what is Terraform? Terraform is an infrastructure development tool. So, but when you compare the cloud formation and Terraform, the best thing is Terraform is very easy for us to understand. So of course, in AWS, we are having cloud formation. In Azure, we are having ARM templates. We will call it as Azure Resource Manager. But outside, these concepts are not utilized. Why? Because cloud formation is stick to only one cloud, that is AWS, and ARM, Azure Resource Manager, is only stick to Azure. But when you take the Terraform, Terraform can be compatible with any cloud. Either it might be AWS, Azure, GCP, or also on-premises VMware. So for any cloud technology, Terraform will be compatible. So everybody are looking with the Terraform. Now, and then here you are having Docker. No, there is no another alternative for Docker. Of course, you are having Elastic Container Service in AWS, but still Docker is the best method to go with the containerization. And Kubernetes is there. But in AWS, you are having Elastic Kubernetes Services is also EKS. We'll call it as EKS is available, but that is not very much effective like KAS, Kubernetes. And when you go for Prometheus, of course, in AWS, you are having Prometheus. Like that, the point is, the whatever you are learning from the outside, whatever the DevOps that you are learning, the same is replicated in the AWS fashion. Then that is called as AWS DevOps. And that is the same is replicated in the Azure templates. Then that is called as Azure DevOps. So nothing much than that. So if you have the basic understanding about Git, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, and whatnot, Maven, Puppet, Ansible, so that's more than enough. Okay. So this is what I want to say you about the DevOps. Please don't get into any false trap that is not very, very good for you. So first of all, be very cautious about what you are learning and then go ahead. So some people will charge you around some 15K to 20K for only giving training on Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is only a class of 15 days, 15 to 20 days. That's more than enough. After that, it's very simple for you. So not much more than that we require. So be cautious when you are learning DevOps. And once you have completed DevOps, then you can go with learning the Azure and other cloud technology. So if you learn AWS here, try to learn Azure in the next term. Or else if you learn Azure here, try to learn AWS. Why? Because the companies are not relying only on a single cloud. So in companies, majority number of the companies are requesting the candidates to have the knowledge on cross cloud platform. So either AWS or Azure or GCP. So when you see there is a chance like 50-40% of Azure and AWS, only 10% is there for GCP. So that is what. So cross cloud platform is very important, and every company is expecting the candidates to have the knowledge on both clouds. Of course, initially, if you have the basic knowledge on the one cloud, that's more than enough. But when you join into the company and whenever you are trying to upgrade yourself, then learn Azure also. And after completing Azure, but you are still eager to learn cloud technology, then you can go for GCP and finally for a programming language. Either it might be Python, or else it might be Java, or else it might be Node.js, or else it might be .NET, or else it might be Ruby. So there are Go language. There are so many programming languages. If you have the basic, not very in deep into the languages like OOPS concept or else classes, we don't want very in deep into the topics. But if you have a basic understanding about what is what in the programming language, that is what more than enough for becoming a DevOps engineer. So overall, this is the flow, how you have to learn the techniques and how you have to learn the technologies. I hope you understand the scenario. So this is how I can say you, I want you to learn about the cloud technologies. Understood? Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, CI/CD will be the part of this course.
No, that's a DevOps tool.
Just high level will be covered, or is completely separate course?
No, CI/CD cannot be covered here.
Yeah.
Okay. Only AWS related services will be covered. Okay.
Do you take DevOps courses also?
Of course. So a Terraform, Ansible, and Jenkins batch is started in weekends around 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you are
Okay.
interested,
Is there any complete DevOps course?
complete DevOps course right now I am not taking.
Okay.
So I have Docker and Kubernetes sessions. I have Terraform, Ansible, and Jenkins sessions, and I have AWS sessions.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Any questions regarding the concepts, regarding the flow? Anything you want to add on to this? I think there are so many experienced candidates. They know how you are going ahead and what is the requirement for you. So let me be very clear here. So what are the techniques that you are going to learn in first 20 classes that will be like an infrastructure? Whoever are the developers, don't feel bad about this. So first 20 to 25 classes, we will be learning about networks, and then EC2 instances, load balancers. Okay, these are the things that we are going to discuss, and later we will be slowly going into the development process also. So that is what I want to explain you about this, and then tomorrow onwards we will start what is cloud computing and why we need to have the cloud, and a lot of things regarding the cloud technologies. So I will stop here. So if you have any further questions regarding the course, if you have any doubts regarding the course, right, next 10 minutes is yours. You can ask me the question, post your questions now. Next 10 minutes is yours. You can post the questions.
Yeah. Do you teach any networking concepts that are required for VPC or?
Yes, I will. That is what I said, networking basics will be there, IP addressing and all the things.
Okay, got it. How many days these basics will be covered?
Networking basics will take 1 week, mostly 3 to 4 sessions or 5 sessions.
Okay, and load balancers also we need for VPC, or it is a different service?
Load balancer is a different service. First of all, you need to have basic. VPC is a primary thing. For example, if you want to construct a room for you, I just want to say you want to create a room where you will have your personal space like TV, and you will have your bed and all the things. First of all, you need to have a parameter, or else you need to have a what I can say, a particular block. That is what you called as a home. So your block of things should be there. So that particular land belongs to you, and inside that you will construct your home, and inside that you will construct your room. Okay, so in the same manner, a VPC like is a block where you will have your entire resources. Either it might be servers, either it might be load balancers, and all the things will be there inside the network. That network is called as a VPC. Understood?
Yes, understood.
Yeah. So VPC is the primary and basic concept for learning each and every topic that is related to AWS at some point of time that will be connected to VPC. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You are about to ask something. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions?
Actually,
Guys.
For development sessions, which programming language you are using? Means
There is
Python or Java?
there is no programming language I will touch. First thing.
Okay.
I just want to say. Here I'm not training you on the development. So it is not an application development. Cloud is not application development.
Okay, then in development sessions, what you are going to cover? What topics?
how you are going to deploy your applications, how you are going to build the applications, what is the procedure of easy manner of deploying the application, creating the application. That's it. I'm not going to take the classes. I don't know the development. Okay. I said, from the starting itself, I'm a system administrator. I'm not a developer. Okay.
Yeah.
But in Lambda functions, I will discuss about Python, basic Python concepts. I'm not very deep into the Python. Yes, a little bit Python I will discuss, not very in depth. Yeah. Any questions apart from this?
Are you going to cover key management service?
KMS.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah. But don't expect that that encryption and all things will be there. I will cover that. Yeah.
Okay, it will be like only one class.
One class.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything else?
We have the classes on only weekdays, right?
Yeah, from Monday to Friday.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Any further questions?
Okay, so we have the options to go the online classes, right? Somewhere where we can download the previous session kind of things, right?
If you did not attend the sessions, you can go with the online sessions also.
Okay, so if you have any questions or any doubt or something in that session, how I can contact you?
You have to register now for the sessions.
Mhm.
And every day you will get the videos. Okay. If you have any doubts, we will create a WhatsApp group for you. You can join out there.
Okay, so that is for the current session. So I'm asking the previous session recorded video, something. For example, if the class is now the 40 days, right? Something if you want to quick learn like 1 week at time, then I could download the previous recorded session and I can go through it, right? Something I was told by someone. Is it right? Or
Downloading option, I don't know, but they are going to share you the videos on the drive.
yeah, somehow. Okay. So if you have any questions and all, then that same the WhatsApp group can be used for.
You can post your questions over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Any further questions? Guys. Okay, it seems that you are all very comfortable with the topics, and I hope you are good. So we will meet in the next session and discuss more and more topics on the cloud. What is cloud and what are the different types of clouds that we have? Okay, that's it from my end. Signing off. Have a nice day, and we'll meet in the next session. Bye.